Hi, we're back for another Lenten meal. I showed you snippets of our lunch, which I just kind of threw together because we didn't have a lot of the things that we wanted, but we made do. And next is supper. And I have my yogurt going in my Instapot that's been put to bed for the night. And in the morning, I'll have yogurt that I can drain into the same consistency that we did on a previous video. But for now, what I have going, one of my favorite meals for Lent was salmon loaf. Now, people have made salmon croquettes and salmon patties, but I've never seen anybody make a salmon loaf. When I was growing up, I learned how to cook by using this book. When I was growing up, I learned how to cook by using two books from Marjorie Standish. And these are the two books that I grew up with. They're kind of loved, but this is how I learned how to cook. From Cooking Down East and Keep Cooking the Main Way. And Marjorie Standish wrote for the Portland Press Herald and the Sunday Telegram. She was a home ec teacher, and I actually have met some of her students. And she wrote for the newspaper in the recipes section. I forget what they call it, but there used to be a recipe section and a bridal section, and this whole big piece of the newspaper that no longer exists because newspapers rarely exist anymore. However, she wrote for the newspaper, and my grandmothers would save all her recipes. And when she put all her stuff in a cookbook, then they went wild. And all the housewives and mothers would get her cookbook. And then when her second one came out, Keep Cooking the Main Way, that one came out as well. That's how I learned how to cook. This book is how we learned how to cook. The recipes in there, I could make so many different recipes in there. I'm not sure if I can publish the recipe because it is a copyrighted book. I'm not sure if the statute of limitations has worn out, but I'm not going to chance it. But I will tell you how I am going to tweak it. Now, first of all, let me fill you in. I'm going to read you the recipe, okay? We need 1 can of salmon. And this isn't necessarily the can that my grandmother's used or that my mother used, but it's the can I got. And we need some salt, some paprika, some pepper, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, which makes sense because we're doing fish, and 3 eggs. Now, the recipe says to separate them. They want you to have 3 egg whites and 3 egg yolks. I'm not so sure I'm going to separate my eggs, because even though I'm not afraid of separating eggs, but it's the frothing of the white that I don't want to do. We need 1/4 cup of butter and a firmly packed 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs. I'm not so sure I want all that much bread in my salmon loaf. And we need 1.5 cups of scalded milk. I'm going to be utilizing the juice from this can, as well as the skins and the bones. Now, I know, bones, skins, bleh, but I'm going to mash them up so that they won't be seen. And it says to finely mash the fish. I like to see chunks in mine. And I'm also going to add some celery and a red pepper, just because I think that looks pretty. And I like the crunch in my salmon loaf. And I think it was I had two grandmothers. My father's parents were Grammy and Grandpa. My mother's parents were Nana and Papa. And I believe, I don't remember really Grammy and Grandpa making salmon loaf. Usually when I got to stay overnight at their house and it was a fish night, Grandpa would make his famous haddock dish. And my mom is allergic to white fish, so if you haven't noticed, we don't have any white fish during Lent because we like mom breathing. And another reason why we don't have avocado is because we like mom breathing. I don't use avocado oil because mom goes anaphylactic with it like she does with fish, and with white fish. And I go anaphylactic with pineapple. The bromelain in pineapple, the pineapple part that makes it such a powerful food. I swell up like that girl in Willy Wonka turning into a blueberry. It's not fun. I prefer breathing. So no pineapple in this house, no avocado oil in this house, no white fish in this house. Because we like breathing. But I think that's all the allergies that we have to pay attention to. Noah and I are allergic to tea tree, but... So, on with the show. I'm separating the eggs. I want to show you how I do this. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want any yolk in your white, because that's wrong, bad, and incorrect. You can have white in your yolk, but you can't have yolk in your white. And there's an eggshell in there. I get my eggs from an egg lady 2 towns over, but her chickens aren't laying right now. So I get them now from a local market who have farm fresh eggs of not, quality chickens, but, well, they're not ill-treated. They are in pasture raised, but they have lights at night. So now if this gives you the ew, fast forward. That's just a little bit of egg white. Good for your skin, good for your hair. Rock yourself. Let's see if I got enough yolk out to make these do something productive. Jacques Pepin says you need to slap it against the sides of the bowl to break up the albumin. And we're getting some froth. That's going to make the salmon loaf less dense and make your wrist cramp up. Because that's always fun, isn't it? Sure. If I was more ambidextrous, I could do it. Switch hands. Let's see if I can do it with my right hand. Because I'm a southpaw. A New Englander southpaw. My little baby doggy Shoo Shoo is a southpaw too. When she hops up into my lap, she puts her left paw in the air. I have never done this by hand. I'm kind of impressing myself. Just by doing it Jacques Pepin's way. I'm kind of tickled. And that's my left hand. I'm not really touching the bottom. I'm touching the sides more than the bottom. I don't think I'm touching the bottom. Just the sides of the bowl. And I'm tired. The next thing we're going to do is prepare the salmon. Look at me, a lefty doing a right-handed can opener. This is why I like this one. It's an ambidextrous one in essence. Look at that nice, good stuff. Now we're going to dump out everything. And we're going to put into this bowl off to the side the skin. Some of that will go to my little baby doggy, or Her Royal Highness Isabella Rose. A little bit of skin in there, just a little bit. And you want to make sure that the bones aren't there. The bones I like to crush in my fingers. I don't see any bones in this can. Oh, I lie. See that vertebrae? I take that out and I just crush it in my hands. Like that. Crush it in your fingers. That way you don't get a vertebrae in your mouth. Now I'm going to leave the liquid in there, and it says to mash up the rest of it. I want to see big pieces in my salmon loaf because I want to know it's salmon loaf, not mush loaf. So I'm just going to break up a little bit and just mouth-sized pieces. That's the way my mama and Nana always did it. Nana left the vertebrae bones in there. Ugh. Although she did make us a good salmon loaf outside of the bones. And then we're going to do some salt. So, camera filled up, but in the meantime, I have a 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 of a teaspoon of pepper and paprika going in. And then we have 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I get this from Azure. And I believe I can't do that. So that means we move down to half a tablespoon. And I can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1 to grow on. And after the lemon juice, we have these here nice good egg whites. Remember we whipped those babies up? Look how lovely those are. Just get a little bit more of the whipping. And plop them babies in. So we're going to add the egg yolks. And off camera, I did a little tidy, and I chopped up some red bell pepper, only like 1/4 of the pepper, and some nice good diced celery, because that's a nice little crunchy. And then let's mix that together a little bit. It doesn't say to mix it yet, but Kate's going to do that. I wanted to do this earlier in the day so there wouldn't be so many shadows, but this happened, that happened, the other thing happened. Mother needed, the dogs needed. Now Kate's finally getting around to this. We're going to add in, it asks for 1.5 cups of breadcrumbs, but I held back. And we're going to add up this mashed part of the salmon, because that's taste by my way of thinking. Little bits. And last but not least, the butter and the milk. Now, I never really watched my parents or my mother or my grandmothers make this, but I don't remember the whipped egg white, and I don't remember milk. Neither did Mama, but that's me, Mama. So we did some more tidy off camera, and we've heated up the oven, the toaster oven. I'm not going to heat up the big oven for this. And I've gone ahead and greased this loaf pan, such as it is. And we're going to cook this at 375 for an hour. Now my toaster oven only, I keep hitting you, I'm sorry. My toaster oven only goes up to 55 minutes, but hopefully that's long enough. And in it goes. Door goes down, loaf pan goes in, and it goes off automatically. There's a white sauce, as I was saying, that goes with this. It's basically a white sauce with chopped up hard-boiled eggs in it. I'm not going to do that. We've never done that. Even though it sounds super simple, we have never done that. So what we usually served it with was ketchup. I also have cocktail sauce. That would be yummy, but no egg sauce. Would you like egg sauce with it? Make a white sauce, chop up some hard-boiled eggs, stick it in there, whip it up together, and serve it over the salmon loaf if you'd like. It's never been my forte. It's never been what we've done. It sounds very 20s though, doesn't it? Even though these books were made in the 30s and 40s. She was in the newspaper in the 30s and 40s, and I think the 50s. And my parents were married in 1960. And she got them for her wedding present. She got the first one for her wedding present. When the second one came out, my grandmother got her that one too. And now we have both. And Mom has loved them both. And we learned how to cook with them. Both grandmothers had them, and we always pulled out the Marjorie Standish cookbooks whenever we stayed overnight and we wanted to cook. It was a part of my childhood that I will always treasure. I have seen them on Amazon, and if I can find it, I will link leak it. I will link it in the comments below. And I haven't seen the hard copies. When I got married, I got paperback with a spiral bound binder, but you might look on Etsy and find the hard copy, or not Etsy, eBay. You might look on eBay and find the hard copy. I have seen them there, but I will link in Amazon where you can get the spiral bound paperback book. Okay, and I'll give a taste. I'll pull it out, and when it's cool enough, I will slice it up for you and show you what we're having with. I think we're going to have Brussels sprouts again. We need to cook off the rest of those Brussels sprouts, and there's just a wee bit of barley left, so I think that's what we're going to have with it. Here it is out of the oven, and I'm about to pick up. Here's Mama's plate, small and Lenten. Here's my plate, and that's cocktail sauce on our salmon loaf. And this is Noah's plate. He gets a big one because he's not Catholic, he's Baptist. And he doesn't follow the Lenten fasting that we do.
Wow.
Here we go, Mommy.
Alrighty. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Thank you, dear. That's a big load of food. I can't eat all that. You know that.
Well, you know, eat what you wish and give the rest to Shushu. How's the salmon loaf?
I like it.
You like it?
You really do.
That's good. And I put the Japanese barbecue sauce with the barley and mushrooms and lemon juice with the Brussels sprouts.
Thank you. Perfect.
Okay.
I couldn't have done it as well, I'm sure.
Well, you could have.
I love mushrooms.
Bella's still sleeping. We'll walk around her. Hi, Noah.
Hi,
You hungry?
I am.
I have supper for you.
Thank you. That's very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is great.
That salmon loaf I haven't made since my kids were wee ones.
Really?
Mm.
I'm eating a Brussels sprout.
You can eat a Brussels sprout. I know you love them. And that's barley with it, and it has Japanese barbecue sauce.
And there's mushrooms.
The mushrooms in the barley, yeah.
No, it's in the.
I mean, not in the barley, in the Brussels sprouts, yeah.
That's good salmon though.
You like it? I done good, huh?
You have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.